There is a moment, and every single person who has been to Egypt will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you turn a corner, or crest a hill, or step out of a van at the side of a road, and the pyramids are just there, not behind glass, not roped off at a distance, not in a museum, right there, touchable, 3,500 years old, and absolutely not diminished by a single day of it. I have been a lot of places. Egypt did something to me that nowhere else has. And if you have ever thought about going, if Egypt has been sitting in the back of your mind as that trip you keep meaning to take, this video is for you. Because I want to tell you why Egypt, not just what to see, why it matters, why it's different, why people come back. Here is something that stops me every time I think about it. When Cleopatra was alive, the pyramids were already older to her than she is to us. Let that land for a second. The civilization that built the pyramids, that carved those temples, that filled those tombs with gold and art and prayer, it ran for 3,000 years. 3,000 years of continuous, extraordinary human achievement. For context, the United States has existed for about 250 years. Ancient Egypt lasted 12 times longer than that, and so much of it is still standing, not in fragments, not in reconstructions, standing, whole, real. You can walk through a temple built 4,000 years ago. You can descend into a tomb and stand where a pharaoh was sealed in for eternity. You can look at art painted 3 millennia ago that is still vivid and detailed. There is nowhere else on earth where you can do that at this scale. People sometimes think of Egypt as a place of ruins, a museum in the desert. It is not. Cairo is one of the most alive cities I have ever been in. 22 million people. Noise and color and smell and argument and laughter and street food and call to prayer and traffic horns all layered on top of each other in a way that is absolutely overwhelming and completely magnetic. Khan el Khalili has been a marketplace since 1382. People have been haggling in those same lanes for over 600 years, and it is still going. The food is extraordinary and costs almost nothing. The people are genuinely hospitable in a way that surprises most first time visitors. The chaos of Cairo is not something to survive, it is something to experience. Egypt is not a dead civilization preserved behind glass. It is a living country that happens to have built the most remarkable monuments in human history. And the two things, the ancient and the alive, exist in the same space at the same time in a way that you really cannot understand until you are standing in it. And then there is the Nile. Every pyramid, every temple, every pharaoh, every moment of 3,000 years of civilization, all of it is made possible by one river. The ancient Egyptians called it the gift of the Nile, and they were right. Everything lives within a few miles of its banks. Beyond that is desert. Inside that narrow green corridor, one of the greatest stories the human race has ever told. When you sail the Nile, even just for an afternoon on a simple sailboat, you are traveling the same water that carried pharaohs and priests and traders and armies for 3 millennia. That feeling does not get old. Here is what surprises most people about Egypt. It is not just pyramids. Egypt has some of the best diving and snorkeling in the world. The Red Sea coast, Dahab, Sharm el Sheikh, Hurghada, sits above coral reefs so alive and colorful they seem almost impossible. Egypt has a desert that looks like another planet. The White Desert in the Western Desert is one of the most extraordinary landscapes I have seen anywhere. White rock formations rising from pale sand. Absolute silence. Almost no visitors. Egypt has a Mediterranean city, Alexandria, that smells like the sea and has Greek ruins and Roman catacombs and a history that runs parallel to ancient Egypt entirely. Egypt has a sunrise balloon ride over Luxor that will make you cry. I am not exaggerating. I have seen grown adults in tears watching the Valley of the Kings appear below them at dawn. People think they know what Egypt is. They have seen the postcard, the pyramid, the Sphinx, the desert. The postcard is correct, and it is about 10% of the story. I want to address the things that hold people back. Safety. Egypt feels intimidating from the outside. It is not. Millions of international tourists visit Egypt every year. The major sites, Cairo, Luxor, Aswan, Dahab, are extremely well set up for international travelers. There are tourist police everywhere. The infrastructure for visitors is solid. People are welcoming. Cost. Egypt is extraordinarily affordable. Street food for $1. Entry fees to major sites that cost a fraction of European museums. Nile cruise packages that would be 4 times the price anywhere else in the world. Your budget goes remarkably far here. Getting there. Cairo is one of the most connected airports in Africa and the Middle East. Flights from London are about 5 hours. From Europe, even less. From the US, one connection and you are there. Egypt is not as far as it feels in your imagination. I want to tell you what actually happens when you stand in front of the pyramids for the first time. You go quiet. I do not mean you stop talking. I mean something in you goes quiet. Some mental noise that you carry everywhere just stops. Because you are looking at something built by human hands 4,500 years ago. And it is perfect. And it is enormous, and it is still here. And you feel, in a way that is very hard to put into words, how connected all of this is, how long the human story has been running, how much has already been lived and lost and preserved. People come home from Egypt, and something is different. They cannot always explain it, but they know Egypt stays with you. This channel is the complete Egypt itinerary guide. Every video is one piece of the trip: Cairo, Luxor, Aswan, Abu Simbel, the Nile, the Red Sea, the desert, how to plan it, what to skip, what you will regret missing. Subscribe so you do not miss any of it. If Egypt has been on your list, this is the series that will help you actually go. I will see you in the next one.